What's up, fellas? We got pretty much everybody in. We have a couple guys that are going to be a little late getting in, but everyone that we expect to be here should be here. And looking forward to getting started tomorrow. So if I can answer anything for you, I'd be glad to.
Greg, the late guys coming in are just, they're expected here? There's nothing?
Yeah, no problems, just some travel stuff.
What's that first practice going to be like? Just kind of a walkthrough for the fears to get them acclimated?
Well, no, I mean, we have a walkthrough in the morning, and then we have a full practice in the afternoon. So it'll be a pretty good practice. Now, you're not in pads, you're just in helmets, but they've been waiting for a while to get at this, so I'm sure it'll be pretty physical.
Are two-a-days a thing in the past? You don't do two-a-days that much anymore?
We have a few of them. I think we have 3 in the camp. Legitimate, maybe 2 legitimate, where there's 2 actual real practice, and then there's maybe 2 more where it's a tougher practice in the morning and then kind of a combination deal in the afternoon.
You starting on the grass?
We are going to start on the grass. Yeah.
Okay. And the reasoning?
Just want to go on the grass. Yeah. I know we haven't done that ever before. I know.
Is there an extra build-up for this with this training camp with what happened last season? Guys lost, new guys coming in, Savage again taking over.
I think every year's extra. Every year's so special to start a year. I'm excited. I think our players are. So it's special. I don't know if it's extra special, but it's special.
You said there's only a few two-a-days. Is there a reason that there's not as many anymore?
Well, one of them is there's rules that prohibit you from doing it. And 2, I think the players have gotten so darn big and strong that when you hit each other, there's opportunity for injury. You know, I think you have to really limit that. So I think you can get a lot done through walkthroughs and teaching and meetings, and still get what you need to get done in a one practice format. Now, when we do go two-a-days, practices will be shorter. I mean, they're not going to be 2 full practices. They'll be condensed a little bit.
Greg, you named the captains yet?
Not yet, Keith. Pretty soon, though. Yeah, I don't know if it's tonight, but real soon.
You think this heat and humidity will test their conditioning? Are you confident that this is a well-conditioned team? Or are you going to push them to the limit?
Yeah, we'll push them. I'm confident that Jay Butler and his staff are the best. So I'm confident that they'll be right where I asked Jay to get them. I think I want to make sure that we build through the camp and peak at the right time as we enter the season, and then I think then you go into a whole different thing. There's the training camp build, and then there's the season build. I think they're 2 different things, and it looks, so far the extended forecast looks pretty good all the way to the end of next week. So I think we're going to have some clear skies and some good heat, which is good to strengthen our team.
How long can you tinker with the offensive line, and how long do you want to get it nailed down?
Well, I'd love for it to be just what we put out there the first day. How long can you do it? As long as it takes, unfortunately. You saw that last year, right? We were tinkering. That's probably the reason for your question. We were tinkering maybe to the end of the year. Right? It seemed like every week we were tinkering. So I'd love for it to fall into place and then, play those same 5. That would be great. But you can't make it happen. It's got to happen.
Is there an extra emphasis to make that line with a good relationship with Savage able to be a cohesive unit quickly right off the bat?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why you'd like that. I think that's in reference to Tom's question. That's the sooner they can become the starting 5, the sooner they can become one. Great offensive lines kind of move and act and hang out and do everything as one, and it's all around that center. So if Howard can kind of get this line and pull them together, I think, and they can perform. I mean, all that stuff about camaraderie and understanding each other still comes on the heels of the individual being able to make the block. And you have to be physically and emotionally and mentally prepared and capable of doing that. So that's what's got to happen first. And then when you get 5 guys that can do that, then you start building a cohesiveness and a camaraderie.
Greg, you spend a lot of time on special teams in the past. You always have, but how much emphasis will be replacing a guy like Devin McCourty who wore so many hats?
Well, yeah, there won't be one guy, I don't think. Joe is a tremendous special teams player as well, Joe LaFedge. So hopefully there's certain things we can do with him, but you're not going to replace Devin with one guy. But, you know, Devin took a few years to get to that point too. So I do think we have a lot of young players that can run very well. You know, that's one of the things Devin could do. What allowed him to be so successful on those teams were his speed and his ability, and then he had a knack for it. But he could have the, you know, if he had the knack but didn't have the speed, I don't know if it would have worked as well.
What makes you confident that Stapleton will be the guy at left tackle? Obviously, you've had him for a while, but we haven't seen a lot of him.
I thought he performed well in the spring, but part of it is that's the best we got right now going into the fall. You know, am I ultimately confident that Desmond Stapleton is good enough to be a left tackle in the Big East? Not yet. That's what these next 29 practices hopefully will confirm, and then he'll go do it in the game. Joe, that's a lot of times, you know, in a lot of positions. You know, that's part of college football. So I think he's done the things we've asked him to do to put himself in a position to go do it. Now he's got to go do it.
Have you gotten a look at the kids yet? Have they all weighed in pretty good and everything?
You know, I haven't seen any of them, Brian. They check in. We're kind of doing our thing upstairs, and we'll see them all. We have a meeting at 4:30, and I'll see them all then. I've seen them over the course of the summer. I think they've looked good. But, you know, the rules now, I can't be involved in any of that stuff in the summer, so it'll be, I'll get a wait list probably here pretty soon. And I anticipate everyone will be where they're supposed to be. If they're not, you know, to me, if they come in overweight, then it's not much different than being injured. You know, and there'll be special things that they'll do. They won't be in the mainstream.
Seeing them walking around here all summer, is there anyone particular you're anxious to see, or a few of them?
A lot of them, yeah. I think there's some really good-looking guys, and some guys that are healthy again. You know, we had Mason was out with the knee, Cordell was out with the knee, a bunch of guys that I can't wait to get back out there. You know, you lose a guy here and you lose a guy there. You kind of just, you don't have a choice. You got to move forward, right? But when you look at it collectively, those are big losses. So I'm anxious to get those guys going.
Coach, what position battles are you looking forward to?
I don't look forward to them. Yeah, I wish they were all solved. There'll be some great position battles. I think the corner position is incredibly competitive right now. You know, the D-line, there's depth now. Who ends up playing the best will determine who starts. Linebacker, you know, there's probably 5 or 6 guys that can play, excluding the freshmen. So let's see who gets the lion's share there. Offensively, the offensive line has been talked about a lot, so that's obvious. Tight ends, I think we have some guys that are going to compete. I think there's competition at every position, which is good. I think as long as the cream will rise to the top.
What are the expectations for not only the training camp but the season in general?
It's going to sound coach speak, but this is really what we believe in here. You know, we just want to be the best that we can be. I don't think we've done that the last 2 years. I don't believe that we reached our potential as a team. At some points we did, but overall we haven't done that, and that's what I want to see. This is a young team. How fast we grow up, how fast we really get good at what we do will determine our won-loss record. But if we're the best that we can be, then there's nothing else we can do. But we haven't been able to do that the last 2 years, so I'm hoping we can.
From the year Savage had last year, how much anxiousness is to see what he can do, you know, in terms of being the leader on this team?
Well, I'm anxious to see Tom's continued development. There's no doubt about it. He's got a lot of skills that most people don't have. I mean, he's a really talented guy. So as he understands things better, I hope that he can do more and more from a productivity standpoint. I thought what Tom did a great job of doing was protecting the football. And if he can do that again, that will be critical. You know, we protected the ball and we took the ball away on defense. And that's critical to our program. That's a big part of how we play.
You talked about the cornerback position. You going to keep giving to safety, or is he going to be back in the corner ranks?
He'll be at safety. Yep.
Everybody else basically the same back guys.
Yeah, I think like we listed him on the depth as what it'll be to start. You know, I don't know where it'll go from there.
What do you think the keys are to having a good training camp?
Stay healthy. I think our guys will come in with a great attitude. I think they'll bring great energy. We need to become more physical, and we need to stay healthy, which is kind of a dicey combination, right? Because if you're going to become more physical, what do you got to do? You got to hit people, and if you hit people, there's always a risk of injury. So that would be a great success if we leave this camp a more physical football team and a healthy football team. That'll prepare us well for the season.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.